Okay, Collector fam, we're going to get into this statue now, and forgive me if it feels like I'm being overly critical. Gambit's a great character, and I'm not entirely sure this particular statue did him justice. There it is in a nutshell. Keep listening to understand why I feel that way. What's up, Collector fam? It's your boy Tony the Toy Rat. I'm back with another rigorous resin review for new PVC, pre-used to previewed, and this one is Gambit. Staying in line with the X-Men, baby. We're about to crack it open. Stick around. Okay, everybody. This is Gambit, otherwise known as Remy Etienne Lebeau. He's a fictional character by Marvel Comics. Of course, we know that, one of the X-Men. But he didn't make his appearance until 1990, a creation of Mr. Chris Claremont and artist Jim Lee. And that's where he arrived from, and now we're going to crack him open while we continue to have the conversation. So, obviously, this is a PVC statue from our friends at Diamond Select Toys, and we are just going to get to straight opening him up. All right. We'll take a look at the box real quick, guys, as I crack him open. This is the first time I've looked at him, same time as you guys. So we're going to pull it out, and we're going to put him on the stand here while we take a look at the box. And again, this is, I love my friends at Diamond Select Toys, but this is another missed opportunity. There's nothing in the box. There's not an X. There's not a scene from, his beloved township there of New Orleans or anything like that. So it's a nondescript box. Just remember, everybody, the last thing you want to do is just go to the landfill, so recycle. Okay, I'm going to run my tips through here and make sure that any tape that they've put on there is not there anymore. And let's open her up. Ooh, a lot of good compression on this one. All right, so we just slide that out, and remember, guys, recycle. Okay. Okay, let me put on my glasses. Ooh. You guys checking this out with me? It's really light for all the things that we have going on, and we're going to talk about them in great detail here. But first, we're going to sit them down, and we're going to do a full spin, and then we'll talk about them. So, there is Gambit.
I'll take these.
I'd like to play cards.
I like solitaire, okay. Let's talk about solitaire. Hey, apprehend this!
Okay, Collector fam, we're going to get into this statue now, and forgive me if it feels like I'm being overly critical. Gambit's a great character, and I'm not entirely sure this particular statue did him justice. There it is in a nutshell. Keep listening to understand why I feel that way. We're going to start off with the very specific, does this look like the character likeness? Yes. They have managed to establish the costuming that makes you know this is Gambit through and through. This is Remy Lebeau. He's got the X-Men outfit on, classic to the comic books and the television animated series. He is whipping out the cards, charged, energetic. This is a very dynamic setup. It looks like Gambit. There isn't a question in terms of likeness as to whether this is Gambit. So on likeness, for me, 10 of 10. You definitely know who it is. Now, let's take a look at a couple of other things. Let's talk about his dynamic pose. Again, I feel like they did a pretty good job of trying to simulate something that we might have seen in the comic books in previous years, but definitely something that is very akin to something you would see Gambit doing, which was charging the energy cards and sort of in a row, tossing several out of them, which is what you see in this particular diorama. Okay? So from a dynamic pose standpoint, extremely dynamic. And that's a good thing and a bad thing, because anybody who knows me knows I'm going to go for the throat on the next one, which is portrait. let's take a look at old Remy LeBeau here in his face. And I don't care what we make him, but he is long in the tooth here, guys. He feels like he's got sort of a long face happening. And I am not particularly in love with this long face version of him. Okay? I'm not sure what you guys think of that, but that's number one. Number two, I don't know what they were going for on the hair. This hair is like anime hair style for me. Really thick, chunky hair, really few levels of detail, and I'm not going to lie, I don't feel like this was wonderfully painted. They've got sort of this missing brown to create flecks of black in the hair thing happening, and it just feels like unfinished paint. Unfortunately also, and you guys may or may not be able to see, there's some paint detailing by the ear here that just wasn't captured right back here. So there's some black on the back of the ear. I am being nitpicky, especially at the cost of these things, but it's my job to show you everything that I like and I don't like about them, so there it is. Alright, so there it is for dynamic pose. I always complain about my friends at Diamond Select putting everything on rocks. They did a great job of not making this rocks. This looks like some metallic Sentinel-esque background. Why do I say that? Well, in a couple of different points, you're going to see some metallic sort of arms locking out and coming back into this place. It's on both sides of the foot here. You can see that, hopefully. And so it makes it feel like these are bits and pieces of a broken Sentinel that he's standing on top of. Obviously, he's still at war with somebody because he's firing off. In addition to that, they gave him his bow staff, which he is well known for, charging energy against his bow staff and using it as his main weapon in addition to the cards. There's no energy along this, and this does move up and down. Now, you can take the whole staff out, and there is a hole down here. Hopefully you guys can see that hole. See that hole there? And that hole is where the bow staff rests, because it is a very flexible piece here. It is a separate piece. It can be removed. So, a lot of things that are likable about it. Again, it's got a dynamic pose to it. It looks like the character it's supposed to look like. It's not on a bed of rocks. It does have the appropriate weaponry that you would see in the comic books from him. Here's what we don't like so far. The hair. The hair seems like a misstep to me, an afterthought. His jacket, which is almost like a secondary character to Gambit. This long flowing trench is him. And it's stiff. It is so stiff. It feels stiff. It feels almost like it's a one-piece element. Maybe in the arms there are some textural changes in the wrinkling, but even there it just feels like a really thick, heavy coat that he would no way be able to use during a fight. So there is that. There's also, I'm going to turn it around here. Some of these paint elements right here are just, I'm not getting if they're dirty, if they're trying to cast shadow, if the jacket is dinged. I'm going to show you that a little bit closer here. You can see that it's all up and down the back. Is that shadow? Is that scraping? If it's scraping, why is it scraping in black? Is it just dirty? Is he wearing a dirty jacket? Is that from battle? I don't know. Couple of those things, not super huge fan of. In addition to that, I know he's super dynamic in his pose, but if you try to stand like this, look back, and throw something at the same time, I promise you, your portrait would be doing more than this. Look at that portrait. It's not doing anything. It's just like half, I'm pissed, maybe. I think it can be done better. We've got to focus more on these portraits, guys. We have so much to draw from in the comic books. I don't understand why it is that we wind up with so many stoic portraits. That's just me and my personal point of view on it. He's under a pound, and this is the gridded structure from the base of the unit. You can tell where it's pinned down. There's, one over here, up here, boop. And you can see where he's pinned down in the unit. So here at the front, okay, that's where he's into this actual piece. I think they could have gotten more detail in the boots. Give me something that makes a little more reality, definitely in the knee. That kneecap thing, I'm not even sure how it holds on right now. You can see there's no piece that goes around. It's just off the top, which means it's part of this boot. And that's a very interesting choice to make. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. I'm just not sure that I'm in love with that. Now, Gambit is necessary if you're collecting the X-Men. And, of course, you're collecting the X-Men. That's what's new in the MCU. And so, that's what we're going to be focusing on for at least the next 10 years of MCU development. I urge you to take a look at this for yourself. Although there are some things here that can be done better, I do feel like maybe we didn't have to use 3 aces of exactly the same card. Come on, guys. That's a little... Come on. Come on, where's my QC here, man? There's aces of every deck. There could have been an ace of 3 different cards up here. That's just another little small misstep. Otherwise, the statue is cool. On the cheese side of things, I'm going to give it 1.5 cheese out of 3 because it just doesn't light my fire. I want it in my collection, but I'm not sure it's doing enough for me to want to stare at it, on end for a long amount of time. Well, that's my review of this particular statue. This is the Gambit Gallery Diorama from our friends at Diamond Select Toys. Please excuse my profanity. And I definitely think you guys should take a look at it. And it should wind up in your X-Men collection if you find it worthy. This is Tony the Toy Rat, and I am out.